In the land of howdy and gig 'em, it's an early wake-up call in College Station, Texas, as the Aggies back home. The home of the 12th man will be rocking and rolling today at Kyle Field. Mississippi State in town trying to snap their losing streak. Two teams trying to find an identity as we approach the second half of the SEC football slate. It will be wild and crazy once again here in College Station, as this is SEC football presented by Allstate. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to College Station in Kyle Field. I'm Dave Neal. This is former SEC championship quarterback from the University of Georgia, DJ Shockley. And DJ, here we are, middle of the season. These two teams still trying to find kind of an identity. You look at Mississippi State, they've lost 3 straight. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, it's been a win one, lose one type situation throughout this season. As these teams kind of look ahead, this is a really big game for both these clubs.
This is so important on so many levels. Both teams have a lot of young guys playing in this ball game, but the idea is we want to get to postseason. And you have to get to postseason. You have to win this ball game today. That makes this game just as important as any they played all year, because they want to get these guys experience playing in the postseason.
Anybody that follows college football and SEC football in general knows the name Kellen Mond. He's been quarterbacking the Aggies. Now he's 18-10 as a starter. But we talk about identity, and Texas A&M still kind of searching for that. And part of that is the fact that Kellen Mond's been more involved in the run game.
Yeah, he's had to. You think about the last 3 games, Colin Hill, his production has been down. So Kellen Mond has had to put a bulk of this offense on his shoulders. And it's a fine line of what Jimbo Fisher, the play caller, has to do with Kellen Mond. You don't want to run him too often where he could possibly get hurt, but you need him in the run game to get this offense going, while Colin Hill, you hope, gets going.
Well, while Mond makes his 29th start of the season, we've got a young man that is just breaking into SEC football. Garrett Schrader, the true freshman, getting the start now for Mississippi State. And much like Kellen Mond, he's a guy that can do a number of things at that quarterback position.
Yeah, him himself has had to put a lot of things on his shoulders as well. This was a point in the ball game where he earned a lot of respect of his teammates by the way he is fearless with his body. He goes after it. He wants to be tough. He's a downhill kind of a tough guy, and they expect Schrader to put a bulk of this offense on his shoulders as well today.
He is a big play waiting to happen. You see those 22 runs over 10 yards. He'll try to have more of those here this afternoon. And, well, certainly speaking of Mississippi State, things are kind of up in the air in terms of their personnel. For more on that story as they get set to take on the Aggies, let's go down to the field and Dawn Davenport.
Well, Dave, they're actually without 3 key defensive starters today. Linebacker Willie Gay and defensive tackle Lee Autry both serving a suspension for a violation of team rules. Also, starting corner Cameron Dantzler out with an upper body injury. Coach Joe Moorhead told me Tyler Williams, the sophomore, will get the start there because he has a little more experience than true freshman Jarian Jones. But you're going to see both of those guys rotate in. Now, Willie Gay, that's a tough one to replace. Defensive coordinator Bob Shoop said he's a game changer. Good news there. They got an experienced backer in senior Leo Lewis to step in. But, guys, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, total of 6 starters out for Mississippi State today. Texas A&M wins the toss. They defer, so Mississippi State will get their hands on it first. This is an offense this year that has had its moments, but still struggling a little bit to put points on the board at 25 points per game. You see some of those offensive numbers, but they have turned this over, though, to number 6. Garrett Schrader, 6'4", 220, great size. Well, you don't realize really how big he is as a true freshman until you get down there on the field and watch him sling it around. And you see what Darrell Williams, his senior center, says about him. He's ready for these big-time games and ready to make some big-time plays. They hope that happens today here at Kyle Field. Some pressure right out of the gates from Texas A&M. That one will one-hop to Kylan Hill and trying to get him the football. And, DJ, it has been tough sledding for number 8 here the last few games.
It has, and you can see first play out of the gate, they're trying to play to get him the football, whether it's a screen, whether it's throwing it out here on this little bubble screen. They're trying to force the football to Kylan Hill. You see the numbers. They don't match what you expect to see out of a guy like Kylan Hill. Today, I expect them to get over 20 touches for Kylan Hill.
They'll toss it to Hill, working the left side, gets a couple of yards. Hey, well, there's a great matchup today we're going to keep an eye on. And Darrell Williams, who is just an outstanding football player, the senior center for Mississippi State, allowed just 1 sack since the start of 2017. He's going to have his hands full today with Justin Matabike in the middle of that Texas A&M defensive line. Those are 2 awesome players to watch.
Yeah, and he talked about how he scouted these guys coming to this ball game. So see if the scouting report works they're going to definitely need him to play really good on the inside of this Mississippi State offense.
Third down. Let's call it 8. Schrader hit. Loose football. They're going to say incomplete pass. Pocket collapsed immediately on Schrader. It'll be 4th down. Aaron Hansford, first one there.
Yeah, he comes from right in the screen right here. And you see it coming right through number 33 and gets a kind of a delayed blitz, and you can see the emphasis there. They're trying to get pressure on this young quarterback now. And even with a quick throw, that football has to come out of the hands, and Garrett Schrader has to get it thrown before the pressure gets there.
So Hansford, the junior out of Washington. Coaches told us we'd see a lot of him on 3rd down, and we just got a good look at that. Jace Crispin with the punt. Nia Smith back to return it. Makes a man miss, and he'll get it out over the 30-yard line. A 49-yard punt and a 4-yard return. So for Texas A&M, here comes their offense. You see where they rank in scoring. 7th in the conference in scoring at just a tick under 31 points per game. Kellen Mond running the show, 18-10 as a starter. Jimbo Fisher talking about his signal caller, saying his decision-making and command have gotten stronger each and every week. Those two are completely in sync right now in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. 2 tight end look to start things off for A&M. They'll hand it off to the freshman Isaiah Spiller. But Kellen Mond's the key to this operation. You see what he's done, completing over 62% of his passes. But I think the addition of the run game has really helped him a little bit too.
Well, it gives him an opportunity to get involved in the game early. And sometimes for a quarterback, you have to get hit. You have to take a couple shots to get you going. And Kellen Mond is the same way. But don't make no doubt about it. This guy is a guy who likes to throw the football.
They will swing it to the wide side of the field. Spiller makes the catch, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's out near midfield. That'll be a 1st down. Chauncey Rivers drags him to the turf.
And here's what they want to do. They want to get some of their playmakers like Spiller, who's a true freshman, in space with Mississippi State and force him to tackle. This is a high percentage throw here for Kellen Mond. Nothing but like a long toss to Spiller, and he does the rest.
2nd down and 7. Aggie, 2nd possession. First one had to punt it away. They'll go handoff to the freshman Isaiah Spiller. Inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line. Landrews drags him down, but a 24-yard pickup.
Watch number 55 here. Gets a nice seal block on the edge, which creates the lane for Spiller to run through. Watch him just create that seal. And then the patience of Spiller to run through there. He does an outstanding job here in space and running hard and physical. We talked about him earlier. Once he gets going, he is a load to bring down.
The right guard, a freshman, Kenyon Green out of Humboldt, Texas, 6'4", 330. Here's Spiller again. Breaks another tackle. Has another 1st down inside the 15. Down to the 13-yard line. Landrews again having to force him out of bounds, but a 12-yard gain.
The physicality in which he runs with. Dan Moore, number 65, the left tackle, comes around and kicks out that end, and here comes Spiller running through arm tackles, picks up another 1st down. We found something in the run game here with Isaiah Spiller, and he's starting to emerge as that top back for Texas A&M.
Spiller has a couple of 100-yard games in his young career, but lately just struggling. Last 4 games, just 115 yards rushing, averaging 2.9 yards per carry. 1st down throw from Mond, coming near side. Jalen Weidemeyer. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. A gain of 11.
And watch Weidemeyer put his head down, try to get it. Does he get that ball over the pylon? That's really close there. Texas A&M's going to hurry up and go, though.
Kellen Mond will keep it himself, and he will get it across the goal line. Touchdown, Aggies. The 4th rushing touchdown of 2019 for the junior quarterback.
Capitalizing on the great field position that they had there. Takes it down the field, makes a running pass. Spiller was big on that drive, and Mond caps it off with the QB sneak.
Seth Small to attempt the point after, and he will split the uprights. So Texas A&M scores for the first time today. They lead Mississippi State 7-0. Texas A&M out in front of Mississippi State. 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. Always great to be at Kyle Field, one of the unique and just meccas of college football.
Are you saying unique because of those two individuals we just saw on the screen there?
Yes. Jimbo Fisher, of course, national championship in his back pocket back in 2013, trying to get this headed in that direction now in his 2nd season. One of 5 active head coaches with a national championship to his credit. Nick Gibson in at running back now for Mississippi State. He'll get the handoff here, and he'll take it out close to the 30-yard line. One of the things that Jimbo Fisher said about Kellen Mond, how much he was impressed by the fact that they could have a 10, 11-play drive, and he can remember every single play of that drive, what the defense looked like, what kind of formation they were in. So it's easy to talk to him about a drive and what he saw.
He's a smart guy, but I know as a quarterback, you want to make sure you know exactly what the coach is going to ask you when you come off.
Good run there by Gibson. Blades pushes him out of bounds. He'll have a first down and a gain of 8.
And we talked about it in the open. Garrett Schrader needs a run game, whether it's coming from Kellen Hill or whether it's coming from Nick Gibson. They have to have some semblance other than just him as a runner to be successful on offense. And you see they start this drive off with a couple good runs.
Schrader going up top, looking for a big play, can't hit it. It was there, and it falls incomplete, trying to hit Stephen Guidry. Blades on the coverage. So you wonder if Joe Moorhead will go right at that spot with his young quarterback, Garrett Schrader, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Young man won back-to-back state championships in high school. Lofts it up, just off the fingertips of Farrah Green, the tight end. Well, that was close.
We talk about Matabike in the middle. He's right here over the center. Watch the pressure that he gets right up the middle and forces Garrett Schrader to throw this football earlier than he wanted to. He is just tough to block on the inside. He almost got it off and could have been a big play, but when you have 0.1, 0.2 seconds to get the football off and the guy's right in the middle of that defensive front, it is tough. And you see the numbers early for Garrett Schrader are not good. They're only averaging 2 yards per play right now.
3rd down and 10. Schrader spins out of trouble, gets it off, but it is incomplete. They're going to say turnover. They're going to say taken away by the Aggies. Devin Morris coming up with the play, and Texas A&M is in business.
This was the #1 key in the ball game for the Mississippi State defense, to get turnovers, and that's a good catch. It looks like he just takes it away from him when he rolls over. He just takes it away from Zuber. Zuber's on the ground with the football.
So Devin Morris, he's been banged up. We didn't know how much we would see Devin today, but old number 7 just came up with a turnover. And now Mississippi State will have to play some defense. Runner with Spiller. Spiller will break a tackle and lose a yard. Isaiah Spiller had 116 yards rushing against Lamar, 106 versus Texas State. Great connection to the Aggie football program, as his dad, Fred, was a tight end here at Texas A&M under R.C. Slocum. Mond's pass over the middle is caught by Davis. He's inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. That's 21 yards for Texas A&M.
Well-thrown football by Kellen Mond. They got triple slant going on. He hits the inside guy, Courtney Davis. And Courtney Davis runs through that zone and does a good job of just yards after catch.
Davis had a season low 1 grab last week against Ole Miss, a game that Texas A&M held on to win 24-17. Had a nice drive to end the game, trying to close it out. Kellen Mond, a big part of that drive, running the football.
Kellen Mond sends some pressure here.
Mond will keep it. Great vision, got behind his big boys up front, and he'll pick up 5 yards.
Isaiah Spiller here is the lead blocker for him. You see Carson Green out there as well, taking on Errol Thompson. Takes on the blunt of the contact, but sometimes just being in the way is just enough. And does a good job of getting his quarterback on the edge. And now you got a second and medium with a quarterback that can throw it or run it.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Mond will throw it, double clutches. See, he had Tyler Williams coming right in his face, made him readjust the throw.
And you love the recognition. He sees corner blitz, and now he just has to deliver a football to him in a way that he can catch it. He has the double clutch, and you see there, but he has to throw a little bit more accurate pass there to give Osborne an opportunity there.
Well, Mississippi State seems like they're bringing a pressure from one side or the other every snap.
And you can see that is what they want. That's the equalizer for them on defense. Shoop is not going to allow his defense to sit back and allow Kellen Mond to dictate this ball game.
Some more pressure over the middle. Pass is caught again by Davis. He'll have the first down, but he grabs his right leg. Oh, boy. Kellen Mond, 6 of 9, 59 yards to start this game. Will work with a fresh set of downs just outside the 10-yard line. Mond will keep it. He's to the 5. Touchdown. Texas A&M from 12 yards out. Kellen Mond with his 4th, making his 5th rushing touchdown of 2019. Boy, that was an efficient drive for Texas A&M.
A lot of that had to do with the arm of Kellen Mond, making some decisions with the football, getting the ball out of his hands quickly on some quick slants, and receivers making some yards after the catch. But that's the part of the game that Jimbo Fisher loves about Kellen Mond, his decision making and being able to throw the football to the right spot.
Seth Small connects on the point after. 9 plays, 55 yards, a little over 4 minutes off the clock. And the second touchdown run of the day for number 11.
Here's the zone read action. Here's who Kellen Mond is reading. If he crashes down, Kellen Mond pulls it on the edge, and this is exactly what happens. Reading that defensive end, Fletcher Adams, he crashes down, he pulls the football out, and now he's on the edge doing what he does really well, run with the football in his hands into the end zone for a big score for Texas A&M.
Touchdown lead here in the first quarter for Texas A&M. Braden Mann will kick it away. This will sail into the end zone. Out to the 25-yard line we will go. At first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They'll work from the far hash mark. quick hitter. Picks up 4 to Farrod Green, the tight end. And that will be the end of the first quarter. That saw Schrader pick up his first completion of the game. See if he can keep that rolling into quarter number 2. SEC Network football is presented by Allstate as we get set for the second quarter as Texas A&M leads it 14-0 here at Kyle Field on a rather cool Saturday early afternoon. In College Station, Joe Moorhead and his offense, he's just trying to find some answers offensively. And this guy is considered one of the premier offensive minds in the country. Of course, 2 years in a row while he was at Penn State as the OC, was the National Offensive Coordinator of the Year. Working with quarterback like Trace McSorley certainly helps things out, doesn't it? Here goes Kylan Hill. Breaks a tackle. It's a foot race. Hill is tripped up at the 35, and that's something Kylan Hill's been searching for the last month. And 36 yards.
A matchup you like. Kylan Hill on Buddy Johnson. He's right there in the hole, and he runs right through the tackle of Buddy Johnson. And this is what Mississippi State needs. Kylan Hill to get going early. In the first quarter, 3 carries for 8 yards. Now they're starting to create some lanes for him to run, and that'll open up everything for Schrader and its offense.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Schrader will keep it, dancing around, gets it close to the 31-yard line. Jaden Peavy there to make the stop. Well, that was a much-needed play, I think, for Kylan Hill. I think for Mississippi State's offense.
It's a confidence builder for a running back that hasn't really had any production in the last 3 games. To have a run like that, it may kickstart him into a big game today.
Schrader going toward the end zone. Touchdown, Mississippi State. Stephen Guidry with the reception, 32 yards. And the Bulldogs are on the board, and he beat Elijah Blades, who was slow to get up again.
You see Guidry's down here at the bottom. He's going to run a post here over the top and does a great job of getting inside of Blades. And you got this quarters coverage, and he just lays it out for him, giving his guy an opportunity to go up for the football. And Guidry, what a big-time play, being aggressive, high-pointing that football and taking it out of the air.
Jace Chrisman to attempt the point after. And he will split the uprights. Bulldogs get on the board, cut the lead in half behind the touchdown pass from Schrader to Guidry. Bulldogs needed that one in a bad way. Well, Schrader with his 5th touchdown pass of the season. He hits Stephen Guidry. Schrader was 0 for 6 to start this game, but has hit his last 2 for 36 yards and a touchdown. Boy, short kick taken at the 15-yard line by Preston, and he's out to the 35-yard line. So decent field position for Texas A&M. DJ, you were kind of a running dual threat guy.
Yeah.
Did you like it when your number was called to run the football?
I didn't mind it because it's kind of used the way they use Kellen Mond, sparingly when you need it, to keep a defense honest, like you mentioned. To have a guy like that in this system, it gives you a lot of options. And Kellen Mond is such a dual threat with the football in his hands. And you want your best players to have the football in their hands, and Kellen Mond is that for Texas A&M.
It's a fine line, though, with that. You start looking at their roster, and behind Kellen Mond is a true freshman. You got to be real careful.
I think there's types of runs that can help him, too. Sometimes you don't want your quarterback running through the trenches. You can put him on the perimeter or the edge, and he has to know when to get down, too.
Spiller will pick up a couple of yards. We talked to Jimbo about that yesterday, and Here's what he says about the quarterback game, and you have to understand there's only so much physical pounding you can take. He was even talking about you get hit harder in the pocket sometimes, but still, it's the amount, the quantity of hits. He talks about Cam Newton, how he's kind of broken down because of the way he plays the game. So it's a fine line, according to the coach, on how much you want to run the quarterback. But it certainly has helped Texas A&M offensively here the last couple of weeks.
It has, and he makes a good point because you're not the guy who's kind of giving out the hits. Sometimes they're bringing it to you.
Pass over the middle, caught by Osmond. Landrews there to make his 5th tackle from the safety spot, a gain of 6 for Texas A&M.
And Dave, also good to see number 1 Courtney Davis back on the field for Texas A&M.
Broken tackle in the backfield by Spiller. He will fall inside the 45, picks up 3 and a first down for the Aggies. Boy, something Texas A&M has done well this year, and it depends on the team and really the year, but time of possession has been a big part of Texas A&M's offense this year. They have won the time of possession battle all but one game this year. Matter of fact, they were +8 over Ole Miss last weekend. Alabama's the only team that's had the football more than A&M, and that was only for about 1:45 more than Texas A&M. There's Courtney Davis working hard to get it inside the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 14.
I continue to preach. He's doing such a good job of getting the football out of his hands. And look at this nice precision route here. Doesn't run into coverage and then gets vertical. Gets north and south. That's what you teach receivers. Once you catch the football, let's get north and south and pick up more positive yards.
From the 29. Mond steps up in the pocket, sees some room to run, and he will scamper to the 15, to the 10. Big hit at the 5-yard line as he is popped there, but a flag comes out at the end of that play after a 25-yard gain by Kellen Mond. There's all kinds of flags, pushing and shoving going on. C.J. Morgan was the man who came up to make the hit on Mond.
There was no targeting on the play. The 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct foul on number 76 will be enforced.
Mond will throw on first down. Going up top to the end zone. Wide open is Osmond. Touchdown from 19 yards out.
Javon Osborne, first off the release. He does a good job of getting off that release, and they're playing cover 2, and just a well-thrown football. He tried to get hands on Osborne there, but he just throws a high-angle corner route to that back pylon, and not much Mississippi State could do there.
Point after is up and good, and Texas A&M didn't waste any time. They may have lost on the penalty situation, but they definitely won on the first play after that sequence, as Kellen Mond strikes for the 14th touchdown pass of the season. Jamon Osmond, his old high school roommate, on the other end. Here, Texas A&M out 21-7 on the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Kellen Mond, Jamon Osmond connecting on that last touchdown. His man will kick it away. Isaiah Zuber on the return. He is wrapped up just across the 15-yard line. Thank you, Laura. Great to see her today back on the set after spending some time on maternity leave. She's got a growing family.
Pretty cool to see Laura back on the set, having a good time down with the boys. We're happy to have her back.
Boy, some strong running inside by Nick Gibson, but lost the football, and the Aggies have it at the 20. Gibson going for every yard he can get, but it cost him the football.
And that's tough for a back to run and try to get extra yards, and he's fighting. And you see here, he's fighting guys off, and this is what defensive guys do. They hold you up, and one guy rips that football out, And an opportune time there for Texas A&M to get the football out, and it's simply what they talked about they needed to do in this ball game. You see already 2 turnovers for this Texas A&M defense.
Devion Renfro with the fumble recovery. Richardson rips that thing out of there. Boy, another youngster for Texas A&M, a true freshman making a big play for the Aggies, setting up their offense here. They'll run it off the right side with Isaiah Spiller. He'll pick up 3. Spencer with his 4th tackle for Mississippi State. Boy, Nick Gibson fumbled last week against LSU. Matter of fact, that fumble by Gibson last week against LSU snapped a streak of 489 consecutive carries without a fumble for Mississippi State. Now Gibson's turned it over twice in consecutive weeks. Second down for the Aggies. Split. Spiller out in motion. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Davis as Mond was wrapped up again in a hurry. Boy, that pocket just collapsing quickly right now.
And you see who came in and got the hit, who we just saw go out the ball game last series, is Brian Cole right off the edge here, timing up the blitz just right, coming off the backside of Kellen Mond. He gets the football off, but you can see defensive coordinator Bob Shoop is not sitting back for Texas A&M. He is coming today.
So now 3rd down and 7. Split 2 receivers to each side. Spiller in the game to the left of Kellen Mond.
Looks like more pressure.
Oh, they're bringing in everybody, it seems like. Aggies pick it up. A couple of broken tackles for Rogers. Still on his feet. Touchdown! Oh, my goodness, what a run from Kendrick Rogers.
Just the extra effort here. See if he gets any part of his body down as he's fighting off Mississippi State defenders. Oh, it looks like that, I think his right hand on the backside of his hand goes down as he fights here. Watch now his right hand right here as he rolls over to push himself off the ground. There's that right hand. The backside of it touched the ground. But incredible effort from Kendrick Rogers. Incredible effort to try to get into the end zone.
I think they're going to give him the touchdown.
It looks like it.
A 16-yard catch and run by Rogers as the point after is up and good, and another 7 on the board. So 28-7 now. Texas A&M out in front of the Bulldogs. What an effort by 1-3 of Texas A&M. Thanks, Peter. Coach is really good with the arrows. I just noticed that.
Kids is all over. He's trying to get every space of that board.
28-7, Texas A&M. Schrader going over the middle and a little too far. Trying to take a shot down the middle to Dedrick Thomas.
They had what they wanted too, just an inaccurate pass there from Garrett Schrader. Love the matchup, but you see the numbers on the day for Garrett Schrader. Hasn't thrown the football well at all, and that bottom stat line of -3 yards does not look like the offense they've had the past few weeks where he's had to pick up the load.
Oh, big hole off the left side for Kylan Hill. He's to midfield and a big collision right there, but he picks up 18 yards. Leon O'Neal making the tackle. But that's 2 nice runs for Kylan Hill today.
Give this offensive line a lot of credit. And you see number 63 pump pulling around there, create that hole as well.
Ball was tipped and almost picked off. Clifford Chapman had his hands on it, and now it was heading back to the end zone if he maintains possession.
I wonder, was this ball tipped at all? Looks like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and that's why it's a little bit behind. Not sure who that was up front. They got a hand on it, but they got a piece of that football, which almost led to a big play and possibly a third turnover for Texas A&M.
Aggies bringing some pressure. Schrader makes a man miss. Stays on his feet. He'll get close to the first down. They'll spot him at the 38. That'll be good enough to move the chains. Pressure came from Richardson, but Schrader avoided him.
And defensive coordinator Mike Elko had the perfect call for this quarterback draw. Richardson, like you mentioned, had the pressure, should have made the play in the backfield. But you mentioned earlier, Garrett Schrader's a big, tough runner.
Schrader. Flags come flying, and Schrader is dropped back at the 37-yard line. Couldn't get rid of the football that time. He'll lose 8.
Holding, number 75 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Michael Story is your right guard right here. He's going to get called for the holding call. Going against Bobby Brown on the outside and gets the little ET stunt from the inside and just tackles the defensive lineman to the ground. That's why I saw so many penalties come flying in his area.
Schrader has Green is tied in inside the 20 down to the 16. That should be good enough for the first down, and it is.
There's a reason you're able to throw this football here. Look at Kellen Hill come over and pick up this blitz. Allows Garrett Schrader time to stand in there and throw that football. And nice throw and catch there on that particular play to pick up a huge first down.
Picked up 19 on 2nd and 18. They'll give it to Hill here. Cuts it back. Gets it to the 14-yard line. Gain of 2. Clock under a minute, 54 seconds. Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. Boy, they really need to stick this in here. I think touchdown, field goal, the way their offense has moved, down 21. Yeah, you're going to need more than 3.
And the way Texas A&M is going up and down the field, you need 7 points here. They got to find a way to get this football in the end zone.
Schrader coming off 304 total yards of offense last week against that LSU defense, where he averaged 6.5 yards per play. I think one of the things that we were able to notice this week in watching him a little bit more closely is his arm strength is real.
Yeah. And he's been used in the pass, in the run game a lot. So that's why when you think of him, you say that, but he can throw it with the best of them.
Just 4 of 14, though, through the air today. They'll keep it on the ground with Kylan Hill. Boy, they are keying on Kylan. He's had a couple of decent runs today where he's broken a tackle at the line of scrimmage. But for the most part, Aggies up front been all over number 8. That one is incomplete. Kansas State over Oklahoma 24-20. Boy, it's that time of the year, man, where you
Anything can happen.
Right. It's the dog days of the season.
Any given day, anybody can show up and play some good football. That's the second drop there by Kylan Hill in his ball game. They started off the game with a similar play. They had numbers, had leverage, just not able to catch the football and pick up some positive yards.
33-yard field goal just inside the near hash. Jace Chrisman, 4 of 6 on the year. A 51-yarder against Tennessee, and will split that one through the uprights. So they'll take the 3. They will trail at the break 28-10. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming on the ESPN app. So a good half for the Aggies on an early morning here in College Station. Took them a few possessions to get it cranked up. But had a sequence there where they scored on 3 straight offensive possessions to kind of open this one up a bit here in the first half. And let's get it downstairs to Dawn, who is corralled Jimbo Fisher.
Well, Coach, you hold them to 3 there at the end. What have you been able to do to limit them offensively?
Well, I think that was a big side. I wish we could have held them back. We didn't need to give up points right there. We're up 3 scores, could have got it back, got up 4, and then got the ball coming out. So we gave up a couple big plays there. We missed fit. So luckily we got that held to 3, which was a good job, but we didn't need to get it down there in the first place. But we've done a good job in the run. We busted some fits on the runs and let their back break out, and he broke a tackle once. And for the quarterback, we've missed 2 or 3 tackles in the backfield. We've had unblocked guys and missed them in the backfield. So get those cleaned up and keep playing well defensively.
Kellen Mond, 131 yards in the air. What's been the key to that success?
I think he's just making good decisions. He understands where he's going. He's using his legs smartly. Just making really good decisions with the ball. We need to play another great half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Don. 234 yards of offense for Texas A&M. Good enough to put 28 on the board. They lead it by 18. With that, let's get it to the studio. Peter Burns, take it away. Moments away from third quarter football as Texas A&M leads it by 18 here at home, 28-10 over Mississippi State as you're watching SEC football presented by Allstate. Dave Neal alongside quarterback DJ Shockley. And speaking of quarterbacks, Kellen Mond, what did you make of his first half?
I thought he was efficient, throwing the football and using his legs, 12 of 17, and he's averaging 10.8 yards every time he runs the football. He's got him in good spots, and he's playing well. He has to continue that in the second half.
On the foot. 168 yards of total offense for Mississippi State, 234 for Texas A&M. Biggest issue for Mississippi State, though, is they got to convert some third downs. They're 0 for 6 today. A&M will get the football first here in the second half. A short kick taken around the 10-yard line by Aniyah Smith. Boy, a young man that they are real excited about is a big game breaker. Speaking of game breakers, we've got one on the sidelines. Let's go visit with her now, Dawn Davenport.
Yeah, guys, simplify. That was the word at halftime for Mississippi State. Head coach Joe Moorhead telling me that defensively, you got to remember, they're out 3 starters. They're playing a bunch of young guys on that side of the ball. He said, we've got to make sure that our calls are simple, that they know what their assignments are. We've got to allow them to play confident and fast. So that's defensively. Now, on the other side of the ball, I said, how do you get Garrett Schrader going? He said, we got to simplify that as well. Give him some throws he knows he can make, and our playmakers have to make catches for him.
Yeah, they need a couple of big plays to kind of spark that offense. But first, they're going to have to get the football back. Chauncey Rivers comes up to make the stop on Isaiah Spencer. He and Marquise Spencer combine on that tackle. There's Isaiah Spiller, young man in the first half. Rushed for 53 yards, averaging 5.3 yards per carry. 5.1 yards after that last carry. Second down and 7. Four-man rush. Mond. Pass complete. This time it goes to Kendrick Rogers. He'll be stopped just shy of midfield. It's an 18-yard pickup. There's Kellen Mond. 2 pass touchdowns, 2 rush touchdowns today. First time in his career he has done that.
And they've done a good job of getting him some easy throws, just like they want to do for Garrett Schrader. That last attempt was simply knowing where to go with the football, but understanding they're playing off coverage, so if they give it to you, you take it.
On first down and 10, Mond rolling the pocket right. Hit as he throws. Up in the air, nobody there to catch it. It'll be incomplete. Chauncey Rivers again back there, being a disruptive force on Kellen Mond. Boy, talking to Mond yesterday, he's got this quiet confidence about him. Really enjoyed being around him yesterday. You could just see what a fine young man he is, but I liked it. You could tell he was confident, but he wasn't very vocal about it.
Dave, I don't know if you know, but most quarterbacks are very quiet, confident guys.
No.
I don't know if you've been around many your time or not, but you know. No, but Kellen is exactly that, and he fits well for what Jimbo and his offense likes to do.
Well, he gets hit again. This time he gets it off to the tight end, Weidermeyer. Breaking some tackles, stays on his feet. The youngster to the house. Touchdown, 52 yards. How is this guy a true freshman? That is a man.
True freshmen are not made equal anymore. He comes over on his crossing route. Kellen Mond again with two guys in his face. Gets an accurate football to Wadamar on the outside. And then you see that big 6'5", 260-pound frame breaking multiple tackles into the end zone. They don't make true freshmen like they do anymore.
Yeah, no. You and I were talking about him this morning. We saw him warming up, and like, how was that guy? How was he playing high school football last year? Kellen Mond knows him and loves him. Had 4 catches last week. There are some young studs on this A&M team. That's one of them right there, Jalen Weidemeyer. That young man knows how to find the end zone. His 5th touchdown grab of the season, leads the team now. Jalen Weidemeyer, just part of a freshman class that's getting a lot of work, including Isaiah Spiller, Anaya Smith. Look at the amount of touchdowns those guys have produced on the year already, but it's Weidemeyer who just had the 52-yard touchdown catch, which happens to be the longest pass play of the year for the Texas A&M offense. How about that?
We talked about it. They have not had many explosive plays in the pass game. Weidemeyer is a guy who can help do that.
Isaiah Zuber with the return out to the 25-yard line. Kylan Hill looking for a little bit of room, ran right into Buddy Johnson, the middle linebacker. He'll pick up 2 yards.
And Buddy Johnson is, he had a big missed tackle in that first half, and I'm sure he heard about it and knew he has to play better in the run game. But he's been a stalemate for him right in the middle of that defense, makes all the calls, communicates to everybody up front and on the back end.
Former high school quarterback is Buddy Johnson. Says he can still sling it if he needed to.
We'll see about that. We'll ask him about that a little bit more.
2nd down. Schrader going through his progressions and realizes I better run with this thing, and he will get it out to about the 45-yard line. There is Buddy Johnson to wrap him up. Our quarterback making a play.
QB on QB. I thought there was an opportunity for Schrader to throw that football on the outside. And I don't know if he's just not trusting it or he doesn't feel he can make that throw right now, but the confidence doesn't seem to be there throwing the football, especially outside the hashes for Garrett Schrader. And here's a 3rd down where his arm may be needed to pick up the key 1st down.
Quick throw coming near side. Pass is caught by Thomas. Still on his feet. Down to the 30-yard line. Good play call coming out of that timeout. 25-yard game.
Joe Moorhead, knowing they were going to come with pressure as they did a good job of getting that football out on a quick receiver screen. And you can see Thomas making something happen when he got the football in his hand. But that's what I like, getting the football out of Garrett Schrader's hand, knowing Texas A&M is a pressure-happy team right now. Good call on 3rd down.
How about the first 3rd down conversion of the game? Comes midway through the 3rd quarter here for the Bulldogs. They'll go with Kylan Hill off the left side. Pick up a couple of yards. DeMarvin Leal, another true freshman. Boy, we have got so many freshmen on the field for both these teams. It's a glimpse of the future.
And this is good. A lot of those young guys getting some quality time in a big-time game versus an SEC opponent. These guys have an opportunity to grow up really fast in this type of ball game.
DeMarvin Leal is 6'4", 290. True freshman out of San Antonio, Texas.
And here comes pressure again off the edge.
Here they come. Bulldogs pick it up. Pass is caught inside the 15. What a grab by Thomas, and give some credit to Schrader on a throw.
A deep out route on the outside here from Thomas. Stems him up inside and now creates that separation and goes up for the football, not allowing that football to get to his body. Nice throw and catch by Garrett Schrader and Thomas for another big conversion.
Hand it off to Hill. Richardson comes up to make the play. Mississippi State's offensive line today, they have been shuffling those guys in and out. No Stuart Reese, no Greg Island. It has been a mixed bag for that group up front. Again, 6 starters out today for the Bulldogs. Second down. Schrader almost fell down. He will throw to the corner, and it is dropped. Oh, it was a touchdown in the hands of Osiris Mitchell, but he couldn't hang on.
This is the type of plays you have to have in a ball game like this. Everything's going to be close. Everything's going to be contested. Osiris has to fight his way back downhill and attack that football. And you see, he just gets beat to the football on the back heel by O'Neal.
Schrader could have left that out there a little bit more in front of Mitchell, but nonetheless, that's one the Bulldogs wish they could get back. Another third down.
Don said it. The receivers have to make some plays for him. He can put it outside a little bit more too, but those are plays you got to have.
Joe Moorhead wanted to get a timeout, didn't get it. They'll drop it off underneath. This is going to be 6 for the Bulldogs. Isaiah Zuber from 14 yards out. Good thing Joe Moorhead didn't get the timeout.
You're right. That's one of them. No. Yes, yes.
How about that drive? 5.5 minutes, 74 yards. Zuber with the 14-yard catch and run to the end zone.
And this had to happen. You needed points. They have to Texas A&M went down and scored. But Zuber comes all the way across on the shallow cross, and Garrett Schrader does a really good job of climbing in that pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. And Zuber, the run after the catch, pays off for Garrett Schrader at Mississippi State.
Point after is up and good by Chrisman, and well, the Bulldogs needed that in a big way. They get the touchdown pass. Garrett Schrader. Good block by Osiris Mitchell here, helping his buddy get to the end zone.
Wow.
Short kick taken at the 5-yard line. And the Aggies will have it at the 25. Yeah, they need something positive to happen. A good turnover might get them going in the right direction. We'll see if Texas A&M can keep it rolling offensively. They've had some, after their first 2 or 3 drives of this game, they've really settled in, been pretty confident in what they're doing. And Kellen Mond's been making some plays.
And the best thing about it is Kellen Mond has been the decision maker who has pulled the trigger on a lot of different things in the run or the pass game. He's been good in RPOs. He's thrown the football accurately and used his legs when he's needed to. So when he's playing at that style and that level, it makes this Jimbo Fisher offense hard to stop.
You saw Fletcher Adams hobble off to the sideline, the senior defensive lineman. Here comes some pressure off the edge by the Bulldogs. Mond over the middle. Nice grab by Jamon Osborne. Picks up 14. Had to reach way out in front of him to hold on to that.
When you get pressure from the left side, you work away from rotation, backside slant. This is day one football here. A quick slant on the outside leverage, and an accurate thrown football.
Kellen Mond trying for a big play here. He'll have the first down after a gain of about 14 yards. See where they spot it. They'll spot it right near the 30, so give him 16 on that carry.
Zone read action again. You see number 52 gets pushed down inside, and now you get the edge, and Kellen Mond does the smart thing of getting out of bounds. But it's all about reading that in, and if that end crashes, you pull it. Kobe Jones was in no man's land. He could not get the back or the quarterback, and Kellen Mond, another really good decision with the football.
Osborne to the 10 and fall down at the 8-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Aggies after another 16-yard gain.
Watch this route. Watch this setup. Goes outside, sticks him, and then comes inside, creates that separation, and no chance on the outside for Jaron Jones.
Toss to Spiller to the 5, and he's out of bounds there. He'll be run out of bounds by Preston.
It's just been tough for Mississippi State to be right. They brought pressure and haven't been able to get to Kellen Mond. They played zone, and he's picked them apart, and now they play some man coverage, and the receivers are winning at the line of scrimmage, creating that separation and making easy throws for Kellen Mond.
Spiller, touchdown, Texas A&M. His first touchdown of the day. Boy, just another long drive. 11 plays, 75 yards.
And look at right guard, 55, Kenyon Green, true freshman, get in there and open that hole up for him. And Spiller, with a hole like that, it's easy to get into the end zone there.
Point after is up and good. 42-17. 6.5 minutes off the clock. Another youngster, Isaiah Spiller, the true freshman from Spring, Texas, finds pay dirt. Isaiah Spiller gets it in the end zone. His 5th touchdown of the year. And we're starting to see what this freshman class has the potential to become. You see this 2019 recruiting class ranked 3rd by ESPN. Kenyon Green, who's a starter on that offensive line. The 5-star prospect, but 16 4-stars. Right now, the 2020 class ranked in the top 20, depending on who you're looking at, 15, 16. But there's some guys out there, you start hearing some names out there that they could push up into a top 10. And Zuber will get it out to the 20-yard line. That will do it for the 3rd quarter as Bulldogs and the Aggies will switch sides of the field. 15 more minutes to go from Kyle Field here in College Station, Texas. The Aggies looking impressive, leading at 42-17 on an SEC Saturday. Texas A&M, I would say, has been balanced in every quarter. All told, 42 on the board for the Aggies here at home. Mississippi State sitting on 17. They do have the football, 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Well, they just showed a brief glimpse of Kansas State and Oklahoma game where Kansas State is putting it on the Sooners 41-23. Big hole up the middle. Kylan Hill will switch hands with the football and get it inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line, and he just went over 100 yards after that 39-yard scamper. That's 3 big plays for Kylan Hill out of the backfield.
And just a trap play on the outside. They come across Tyree Phillips, trap that inside linebacker, and Kylan Hill, you give him that crease, and he's going to make you pay like he did there.
129 yards. 3 prior games, 92 total. Good to see Kylan back in his groove. His 8th career 100-yard game. Schrader will keep it, and he gets it to the 20-yard line before he is slammed to the turf by Tyree Johnson, who may have knocked the wind out of him. He's grabbing his stomach and asking for some help as he comes off the field. Now we get Jeremiah Martin back on the field. Second down. Schrader, little stutter step, keeps it himself. Schrader hit around the 13, but he'll have the 1st down. He picks up 8.
He does such a good job of holding this to the very last moment. He had no idea he had the football, and watch the little juke here at the end. Just enough to get him a couple more yards with that big physical frame that he has. But the action in the backfield was so critical in that play being a success.
Pressure comes. Schrader hit as he throws. He gets the pass off. That one is caught by Dedrick Thomas. He'll pick up 4. Pressure came from Damani Richardson. Just a step late.
I wonder why they haven't used much more of these screens, especially to the receivers, with the aggressive nature of this Texas A&M defense for most of the game. They ran those screens and they've worked successfully every time they've had it.
2nd down and 6. Kellen Hill, nice stutter step inside the 5. He's down to the 2-yard line. And now here we go. Some pushing and shoving again. Flags come out. This is the 2nd time we've seen this afternoon. Boy, Darrell Williams, the big general down there. You don't want to lose him.
Result of the play is a 1st down. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 73 on the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 8 on the defense. Those penalties offset. 1st down. That is the first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game for both players.
So DeMarvin Leal also involved in that little skirmish.
There he is on the ground, gets a little extra on the ground, and his teammates see it. Texas A&M not going to allow you just to mush this guy while you're laying on the ground. They want to come to the defense of their defensive counterpart. But you see Darrell Williams there, makes all the calls up front, communicates well for them.
1st and goal. Hill tries to leap for it. Did he get the ball in? He did. He crossed the plane. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Right at the last second, stretches the ball out over the goal line, and Kellen Hill picks up 6 for the Dogs.
Kellen Hill, 5'11", 215, trying to show off his vertical here. You get that football over? Yes, he does. That's a touchdown. Love the effort there by Kellen Hill. Just not enough to pull him back.
A 138 yards on 20 carries for Kellen Hill. Point after, up and good. When he's going well, this Mississippi State offense seems to be doing well, but they've got a long way to go. Ryan Rennick, the tight end, with a return out over the 30-yard line, which you see Joe Moorhead just look down. I mean, there you go. You get a big play, get the ball toward midfield, and this offense is really their last 3 drives prior to that one. It amassed 216 yards. They held the football for 14 minutes, a couple of touchdowns and a field goal. Looked like they were going that direction again. And now they turn it over to the Aggies and Isaiah Spiller, and he'll pick up 3 yards. And now this is all about Texas A&M just taking this clock down as far as they possibly can, get out of here and get set for a stretch run with 4 games remaining after this one. Jimbo Fisher and company, non-conference game next week against Texas San Antonio, and then it's South Carolina, Georgia, and LSU. Matter of fact, this is a great opportunity. Texas A&M, they've never played at Georgia since they've been a member of the SEC. Spiller off the right side, and they haven't been to Georgia since 1980.
Wow.
Guess who was playing for the Dogs in 1980?
Ooh.
One of the greatest of all time.
Who's that guy?
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I've heard of him once or twice. Heard he's pretty good.
That's when this Aggie team back in the old Southwest Conference days, they actually opened up that season in 1980. They opened up with a game against Ole Miss and a game against Georgia.
Well, this schedule towards the end doesn't get any easier.
No.
Both games on the road. So this is a game that they need it for sure, but need it for confidence-wise on both sides of the ball to clean up a lot of things.
Kellen Mond will pick up 5. There's also a presidential library over in Starkville. A lot of people don't know that. Ulysses S. Grant Presidential Library. These 2 schools. Only 2 schools in the SEC to have that. I wonder if Jimbo's been over there. Ask him next week when we come.
I'm not
to town.
sure. I would say maybe no. I could be wrong.
We'll ask him. We'll check with him. 1st down and 10. Spiller will pick up 4 or 5 yards. I know this. Those two coaches right there will have their guys physically ready to go. They will play with a lot of heart and energy.
South Carolina, Tennessee, similar to what we have here today. Teams fighting to try to get into bowl contention, and those games are very critical. Tennessee, Jerry Gantano. South Carolina, Ryan Holinsky, two quarterbacks. I think South Carolina's playing a little bit better right now.
Yeah, last year, Tennessee had a chance, last game of the season against Vanderbilt, to get bowl eligible and just did not play very well. Commodores ended up going to a bowl game. Here's Kellen Mond. He'll keep it himself. Kellen will have the first down inside the 20. He'll pick up 6.5 yards, tripped up there by Brian Cole.
Just cannot say enough of what Kellen Mond has done today and the decisions that he's made. I've harped on it throughout this entire ball game that he is the key to this offense, and he has done a really good job today. That was a situation there where they wanted to throw the football, didn't force it downfield, and just used his legs to pick up the first down.
Richardson on the carry off the left side, driving inside the 10 to the 5 and run out of bounds. He took 3 or 4 Bulldogs with him.
Straight downhill power, and you see Richardson running with that. Look at those legs turning and carrying 3, 4, 5 Bulldogs as he was hit 5-6 yards down the field. End up picking up another first down. Tough, hard run from Richardson.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. They'll go with Richardson off the right side. He'll get it down to about the 2-yard line. Texas A&M came in scoring a touchdown in the red zone 55% of the time. Today they are 5 for 5 in touchdowns inside the red zone, trying to make it a perfect 6 for 6 if they could stick this one in here.
That'll make that guy right there very happy. Jimbo Fisher being efficient in the red zone, getting touchdowns, not field goals, putting a lot of pressure on the opposing team's offense to score and match.
Now that pistol formation. They'll go Richardson again to the right side, and he powers his way into the end zone. Make it 6 for 6 for the Aggies today.
On the outside, Jalen Watermeyer, saw him a big, tough run early in the ball game. You see Richardson coming there and follow right behind him and get the touchdown. Another tough physical run. Right here, you got your freshman tight end leading the way for Canary Richardson to get into the end zone. Run zone for Errol Thompson to get to the end zone. Big day for Texas A&M, up 49-24.
Tonight after the Missouri-Kentucky game, SEC Now will give you a complete wrap-up of highlights, analysis, interviews from the day in college football. Dari, Coach Chiz, Chris Doring. Nobody covers the SEC like those guys. You can see it, of course, right here on the SEC Network and on the ESPN app. Turned out to be a gorgeous day here in College Station. Not so pretty for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, as they have given up 49 points now to the Aggies. And Kylan Hill, his game changed a little bit today as he has put together a fantastic performance on the ground with 138 yards rushing, averaging almost 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, he was, Schrader knocks off a big run here, but he was a part of this ball game, and I said he has to touch the football 20 to 25 times, and they did that. But that was the part of the ball game they were not able to get going, was Schrader running the football. He struggled in this ball game running the football, so Kylan Hill had to pick up the slack.
Schrader 11 carries, 32 yards. It's a first down. Schrader again bumped out of the pocket. He'll run for a few yards. Pick up 5 on that one. Tyree Johnson putting the pressure on the quarterback. Got 7 pressures today by Texas A&M on Garrett Schrader.
Sacked him a couple times, and there probably was a couple more times they had an opportunity to get him, and he broke the tackle of a few guys. But to say he's been under duress is an understatement today.
Kylan Hill pick up the first down and get out of bounds inside the 35. Carper runs him out there, and a gain of 11, so the numbers getting better and better for Kylan Hill. Now up to 150 yards rushing on 21 carries. Well, that's more like Kylan Hill, the guy we saw the first month of this season.
Yeah.
4 100-yard rushing games.
And for the development of Garrett Schrader, he has to continue this style of play to help his quarterback and create some more windows on the outside, or everybody will continue to load the box and force Schrader to beat you.
Batted out of the air. Some pressure came off the edge. For Mississippi State, they got to hit the road again. They're in the midst of a 5-game stretch where 4 of them are on the road. It wraps up next week at Arkansas. Then they take a week off and face Alabama and wrap it up with Abilene Christian and, of course, the Egg Bowl on November 28th against Ole Miss. Over the middle, high throw, trying to hit Zuber there. It's incomplete. 1:59 to play in this one.
And again, as he lets that football go, he's taking another hit. That ball's a little high, but Schrader has been hit every time he's thrown the football, it seems like today. And they have not been able to connect with the receivers on the outside because of that pressure.
Schrader keeps it himself, has the first down to the 20-yard line. Picks up 14 there. Richardson tripped him up. Richardson having a nice day with 7 tackles, couple of pressures, forced a fumble. True freshman. They'll swing it to Kylan Hill. Boy, Farrah Green just couldn't get his hands on the defender, and that caused problems as Hill will lose 10. Some frustration by the Bulldogs. This will be their 4th consecutive loss. They will have lost 5 of their last 6. And look, they were close to beating Kansas State in week 3. They lose that one by a touchdown. They had a chance to start 4-0.
And you look at the last, you're talking about the last 3 games and giving up 56 points to Auburn and 36 last week to LSU.
Down the middle, pass is caught. Isaiah Zuber in for the touchdown, his 2nd touchdown grab of the day. That one goes 37 yards.
Zuber, they are excited about him. He's right in the slot, and he just runs right through the middle of this defense and untimed the jump there. And you can see he can throw the football really well when he needs to. Puts enough air on that football, and Zuber does a really good job of hanging on and being able to get into the end zone. But just Leon O'Neal just timed that jump pretty badly there and allowed Zuber to get behind him.
They're going to go for 2 here. And Schrader just lofts it up in the air, and it is incomplete. Well, certainly you come to this stadium on this day and you see a lot of maroon on the field, and we were just talking about it, like, how do you know the difference between one shade of maroon and the other? Well, you decided to go on the street, DJ, and check in with some of these Texas A&M students to see if they know the difference in the shade.
It was a couple of people, though, that when we asked them, some of the students, when we put up to them, they kind of looked at their own gear they had on because they were a little unsure themselves.
So Anais Smith will pick up this football, and he will be wrapped up there. Yeah, as Jimbo Fisher was talking to us yesterday, they just need some more recruiting classes like this one where you got guys that can come in right away, play some football. You know, and listen, let's face it right now, there's an opportunity for young guys to come in here and get some work early on. There are some teams where that's not necessarily the case, but you do have a great recruiting pitch to go out and sell some of these kids. Hey, here's an opportunity for you to get on the field as a true freshman.
Yeah, Texas A&M came in here with playing 15 true freshmen. That's the ultimate selling point for recruits when they come is, well, I better play early. And Jimbo Fisher can turn on the tape and say, here, we've had 15 true freshmen play this year. And that bodes well for recruiting, I think.
That might just be the last play of the game as Texas A&M will put 49 on the board today and win this one by 19 points. The Aggies amass 439 yards of offense. Give the Bulldogs some credit. They put up 433, but not enough on the scoreboard where it really matters. Kellen Mond so effective and efficient today. Just 6 incompletions and 23 attempts. He accounted for 5 touchdowns. 207 yards rushing for the Aggies and 234 through the air. So Texas A&M wins back-to-back games for the first time this year. They go to 5-3 on the season. Meanwhile, different story for the Bulldogs, who go to 3-5, and they have now dropped 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6. Kylan Hill, though, a bright spot, over 100 yards rushing. Kylan put together a fantastic performance, averaging over 7 yards a carry, 21 rushes, 150 yards, but not enough. So the final score, once again, 49-30. A&M wins it over Mississippi State. Don't forget it. It's SEC now. Let's get it to the studio.